General Hospital spoilers tease that the return of Michael Corinthos will upend everything precisely when the custody trial for his beloved children, Wiley and Amelia, reaches its dramatic crescendo. Carly Spencer, determined and unyielding, has launched legal action against Willow Corinthos and Drew Cain, vowing to secure temporary guardianship of her grandchildren until Michael can come home. But shadowed whispers in Port Charles suggest that Carly's battle may be interrupted by a far more startling revelation: Michael's unexpected reappearance, evidence in hand, intent on reuniting with Willow, and on exposing Drew's darkest transgressions. It begins with a whisper at the Savoy, the exclusive members-only club frequented by Port Charles's elite. Carly Spencer, immaculately dressed in a charcoal gray pantsuit, stands by the marble bar, phone pressed to her ear. On the other end is Nina Reeves, her voice urgent. "Carly, you have to reconsider. Michael is coming back. I swear he'll be home in time. Please, pause the lawsuit. Let's wait." For a moment, Carly's emerald gaze softens, conflicted. She recalls Michael's yawning absence, first for business meetings in Metropolis, then a string of unreturned calls and cryptic messages. Rumors swirled that Michael was investigating Aurora Media's secrets, but Carly knew better. Drew Cain's recent scandal, uncovered by Willow, had deepened her resolve. Drew's involvement in the ketamine plot, his incriminating conversations about making Michael and Curtis pay, and Willow's clandestine operation to gather proof, all pointed to one conclusion: Michael's family needed protection now, not later. Yet Carly considers Nina's plea. Nina, who once schemed alongside Drew and Portia, now stands before her with remorse etched in sorrowful features. The court date is set for June 2nd, Carly. But Michael's flight lands 2 days before. Let him testify himself. That could turn the tide. Carly's lips press into a firm line. She remembers the nights she spent comforting Amelia, whose small voice asked why her father hadn't returned. She thinks of Wiley's birthday, 5 days past, celebrated with a half-smile and muffled tears behind closed doors. "No, Nina," Carly replies, voice cold steel. "This stops now. My grandchildren need stability, not promises. I'm filing today." She ends the call and signals her attorney. Within hours, court papers are submitted. Spencer v. Corinthos Cain, temporary custody. Headlines across Port Charles scream that Carly Spencer is poised to wrest away Willow's children, a twist that shocks many who view Carly as the warm, protective grandmother. But Carly knows what she must do: secure a safe harbor for Wiley and Amelia until Michael can reclaim his place. Across town, Willow Corinthos senses the gathering storm in the hallways of her law office. She exchanges terse messages with Sonny. They've filed. June 2nd. The weight of the custody complaint crushes her chest as memories flood. Michael's love, the joy of parenthood, and the moment everything unraveled when Drew's betrayal drove Willow from their bed. Willow recalls the night she discovered Drew's true motive. Overhearing him discuss plans to break Michael's spirit and make him suffer, she realized the man she once saw as an uncle was a venomous viper. To protect her husband and family, Willow had clandestinely enlisted Sonny's help, executing a covert campaign to gather every piece of evidence against Drew. From hotel keycards and encrypted hard drives to surveillance videos showing Drew's clandestine meetings with a shadowy cult. Yet now Carly's lawsuit threatens to overshadow everything. Willow knows the court will examine her actions. The affair with Drew, her secret infiltration of his life, the lies told under the guise of love. She summons her inner steel, vowing that the truth of Drew's atrocities will prevail. She drafts her response, an explosive motion to consolidate the custody hearing with a motion to admit all evidence of Drew's crimes. Meanwhile, in whispered corners of Crimson Magazine's offices, reporters buzz that Michael Corinthos, presumed abroad, has been sighted in Port Charles. Few believe it until a grainy photo appears online. Michael, in a tailored suit, stepping off a private jet onto the tarmac. The post is quickly shared by Willow's confidant, Sonny's lieutenant. The city holds its breath. On the eve of June 2nd, Carly reviews her case file at home. She spreads out dossiers, psychological evaluations of Willow, character witness statements from teachers and family friends, documentation of Willow's affair, and, crucially, details of Willow's role in betraying Drew. Each page fuels Carly's determination. She knows that if Michael doesn't appear, her argument, that Willow is unfit, will stand strong. She drifts to sleep, unaware that the next morning will flip her world. The dawn of June 2nd arrives in Port Charles faultlessly bright, yet the atmosphere inside courtroom 5B crackles with tension. Families, reporters, and legal teams fill every available seat, anticipation humming like electric current through the air. Housekeeping staff make final adjustments as Judge Gray enters, robes swishing, and taps the gavel. The room, the stage for this emotional drama, falls into hush. Carly Spencer sits to the left in her signature tailored blazer, clutching a file so thick it threatens to bend her lap. Her expression is unreadable, mask-like, every muscle taut with determination. Opposite her, Willow Corinthos appears more at ease, though only just, and she exchanges a brief nod with Sonny, standing protectively behind her shoulder. Each breath they take seems calculated, part of the war of nerves unfolding. The judge's voice rings out, crisp and impartial. "We are here today for the matter of Spencer v. Corinthos Kane, regarding the temporary custody of Wiley and Amelia Corinthos. Counsel, you may proceed with opening statements." Carly's attorney, Ms. Jensen, rises with steely grace. "Your Honor, the petition before you is straightforward. Ms. Spencer seeks temporary guardianship of her grandchildren due to clear threats to their welfare. Ms. Corinthos Kane's affair with Mr. Kane is one matter, but more pressing is her involvement in clandestine operations intruding upon Mr. Kane's home and corporate offices. Pursuit of so-called vigilante justice cannot outweigh a child's need for stability." A collective murmur drifts through the gallery as Ms. Jensen clicks through images of Willow's midnight break-ins, grainy security footage, highlighted blueprints, post-it notes still dangling from photocopiers. Carly watches Willow's face for any sign of flinch. Willow simply breathes steadily, shoulders squared. Willow's attorney, Mr. Hartford, remains seated, waiting his turn. Then, as counsel for Ms. Spencer returns to her seat, a stir arises at the back of the room. Doors swing open to reveal Michael Corinthos, flanked by two court-martials. Gasps echo through journalists. Even the judge allows his gaze to briefly rest on this prodigal son's entrance. In silence, Michael crosses to the stand, removal of his jacket drawing eyes to the leather portfolio clasped at his side. "Your Honor," Michael begins, voice calm yet resonant, "with permission, I would like to present additional evidence relevant to this case." The courtroom leans forward. Carly's attorney rises in objection, but Judge Gray gestures for calm. "Proceed." Michael methodically unveils his dossier. USB drives containing footage of Drew Kane's secret meetings with cult leaders, documents detailing financial transactions funneled through shell companies, internal hotel logs proving Drew's presence near the Corinthos penthouse on multiple suspicious occasions, and audio recordings of Drew's threats against Michael himself. With each piece of evidence, he paints a broader portrait not just of an unfaithful uncle, but of a criminal mastermind whose ambitions endanger all around him. He pauses to explain the context. "My wife, Ms. Corinthos Kane, exposed herself deliberately to gather this information. She placed herself at risk so that I could secure justice through the legal system. These actions were not born of recklessness, but of deep love and duty to protect our children and this community." He slides the final exhibit across the stand, a recorded confession from one of Drew's henchmen, admitting under clipped sobs the plan to use Wiley and Amelia as leverage against Michael. Shock reverberates in the courtroom. Carly's witness list falters. Her own expert on child welfare seems to shrink under the weight of this new narrative. Reporters furiously take notes, scribbling headlines. Michael's return turns the tide, and custody hearing becomes criminal trial. Even the judge is seen flipping quickly through the newly tendered exhibits, brow furrowed in concentrated thought. When Michael sits, silence stretches. Mr. Hartford stands for Willow's defense. He addresses the court with renewed vigor. Ms. Corinthos Kane's relationship with her children transcends these events. While unconventional, her actions dismantled a network of criminals right here in Port Charles. The children, Wiley and Amelia, should remain in her care, safeguarded by both parents who acted with a single purpose: their protection. Testimony follows from Detective Harris, who validates Michael's evidence chain, and from Dr. Thompson, a child psychologist who has assessed Willow's maternal fitness and attests to her unwavering devotion despite the tumult. More telling still is Sonny's testimony. He speaks, rarely a man given to sentiment, of waking with searing pain beneath debris in his rooftop explosion. He recounts how Willow's intelligence briefings and his own resources thwarted further attacks. His loyalty to Willow and Michael is both unabashed and unassailable, transforming the custody fight into an alliance of family against external threats. Carly's cross-examination is relentless. She attacks the legality of clandestine evidence gathering, questions the recording's authenticity, and probes for any sign of Willow's emotional fragility. Yet each time, Michael or Sonny or a forensics expert counters with precision, reaffirming chain of custody, demonstrating authentication protocols, and highlighting the gravity of crimes prevented. Outside the courtroom windows, onlookers watch digital screens broadcasting live feeds. Port Charles holds its collective breath as headlines flicker, custody case mutates into murder conspiracy hearing, and Willow and Michael united against Drew Kane. Social media erupts with debate, dividing the city between staunch supporters of the Corinthos couple and defenders of Carly's grandmotherly guardianship. As closing arguments commence, Carly's attorney implores the judge, children need consistency, not a revolving door of parents chasing vengeance. Willow's counsel counters, consistency built on lies and fear is no consistency at all. What these children need is truth, safety, and the unwavering arms of the parent who saved them from a monster. Michael rises once more quietly, with none of the fiery intensity of earlier, and simply states, "I stand here as both a father and a husband, having witnessed the worst of Drew Kane's cruelty. I ask only one thing: let me protect my family in the way I intended to from the beginning." His quiet conviction resonates deeper than any impassioned plea. Judge Gray surveys both sides with the weight of responsibility plain on his face. He adjourns the court to deliberate, ordering Michael and Willow to return at day's end. Outside, photographers swarm, and Carly retreats behind her attorney, face masked by resolve and unreadable emotion. That evening, as the sky over Port Charles deepens to indigo, Michael and Willow exit hand in hand. They pause before the Corinthos mansion steps. Michael turns to her. "We did it," he whispers. "No more secrets. No more hiding." Willow smiles, tears glinting. "Together," she replies. Inside, Judge Gray signs the temporary custody order, joint guardianship to Michael Corinthos and Willow Corinthos Kane, with full visitation rights for Carly Spencer. The same document simultaneously authorizes prosecutors to bring charges against Drew Kane based on the evidence Michael submitted, effectively merging the custody dispute with Drew's indictment. In the days that follow, Port Charles buzzes with aftermath, legal filings, press conferences, and hush-hush police raids on properties linked to Drew's network. Carly, absorbing the verdict, surveys her grandchildren sleeping peacefully under Willow's watchful care, her heart wavering between pride and regret. And so, what began as a battle for temporary custody ended as a declaration of familial unity and justice served. In an unexpected confluence of love, strategy, and evidence, Michael Corinthos's return not only reclaimed his children but also dismantled the evil that threatened them, proving, once again, that in Port Charles, no force is stronger than the bonds of family fighting for what truly matters.